Servette Geneva Esports trying to reverse sweep RCD Espanyol. Oh, sorry, I'm just adding things to the list I didn't expect to hear at the start of the season. Welcome back to Rival Series B Stream. What a matchup we have just seen. Something that we have predicted to be only 3-0 in favor of RCD Espanyol turned to be a much better effort. Jarjam still here with League and Damascus. Boys, what happened? Both in terms of how did Servette get to this point of sending RCD Espanyol to the fifth game? How did RCD Espanyol drop down? Just talk me through what on earth was the series?
Let me tell you what happened, right? Simply put, no pressure. Zero pressure for Servette happened. That's what happened. They were just playing with absolutely nothing to win, nothing to lose. They were like, you have more to lose when you play a ranked game than in this one. You know, like they were just playing the game and they were playing freed from any kind of like shackle that might have held them back before. And they finally played, what could be, Servette's actual play. So, it's really good to see that they can deliver that level of play, because seeing how they play today, I want to see these guys again next season for sure.
And keep in mind as well, that first game was 6-2 in favor of Espanyol. I mean, by that point, we're like, oh, here we go again.
And the two were like goals because Espanyol was like messing up, right? It was literally Espanyol having and conceding goals because they were like up 5. It was not even like a match. I don't know what happened. I don't know if like we had Ultra Instinct Servette, whatever we had, something woke up inside, and I just want to see more Servette now. That's all.
But having said that, Game 5. What happened to Servette Geneva in Game 5? Why they couldn't close that reverse sweep? What missed on the field that they got in previous 2 games?
Well, if Servette went Ultra Instinct, then Espanyol went and summoned the masterful Shenron and said, hey, listen, could you give us our talent back, please? They kind of just... They cut out the mistakes on every level. They started fast, which threw Servette off for a loop. And ultimately, they took everything which they learned from the last 4 games, and they applied it correctly in game number 5. And that's been their strength all season long. They've gotten to game 5, and they've gotten so much experience now of winning game 5s that they know when to just keep it simple and when to pick up possession. I think the possession game was so key in that final game. They didn't let Servette have the ball, and ultimately, when you don't have the ball, Jam, you're not going to score the goals required to get an equalizer, let alone a winning goal. So ultimately, it was just good game management from Espanyol that saw them through. But whoa, boy, that was a banana peel that was swiftly avoided.
Well, as they say, RCD Espanyol and going to Game 5. Name a more iconic duo? I'll wait. Oh, actually, it's going to be Team Vertex and pretty much always winning Game 2. Something about them in every single series that they've played, with the exception of the one that they lost versus Notorious Legion Esports, they have always won a second game. Magic, but it happens. And quite helpfully, Team Vertex is our next game on screens today versus Team BDS, the current leaders, the King Slayers, so to speak, of RCD Espanyol, as we've seen it yesterday. And with the remainder of our
right? At this moment in time, Espanyol is first, right? Like right now.
They're on 7-1 now.
Very moment in time, it's first.
I mean, technically, you're absolutely right. And for BDS, it's not as smooth as a sailing. While the for RCD Espanyol, apparently, this is not smooth sailing, because Servette Geneva Esports just almost killed the chances altogether for that Catalan roster. But for BDS, the opponents are going to be a little bit harder. I've alluded to that at the start of the stream. Team Vertex and then Triple Trouble, going to be darn rough. But they need to make sure that no missteps still happen for BDS. And Team Vertex, well, another team that has already folded their ambitions for the remainder of the season. They got relegated by Widom Girls yesterday. But just like what we saw from Servette Geneva Esports, boys, are you expecting one last hurrah from this German roster?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, listen, Vertex, you said it yourself, they have a habit for winning. Very, very rarely do they look fully overwhelmed, Vertex. And listen, there are 123 saves notched up between Domain and Kokar. Yes, they give up a lot of shots on their net, but they have the defense to match it. And Domain, would you believe this, is actually joint fourth in the league for total assists. So they have something going in offense. They always have Team Vertex, whether it be the RizX era or whether it be the Nagflow era. I think that BDS have to be careful. Out of the two matches that myself and Damascus were commentating on today, I was going to have this one down as the most likely to have an upset happen. I'm expecting Vertex to get at least one game here. Probably game number 2, I'm sure you can imagine. But the problem that Vertex face is that BDS is absolutely popping off this season. We talked last season when they were previously ARG. Monkey Moon and Mark by 8 together, they have such potent potential in the offensive third, but they just didn't synergize well. This season, oh yeah, they're synergizing. Monkey Moon is top of the charts in terms of shots per game. He's got 30 goals scored. PlayX is scoring a lot more goals this season as well. It just is clicking together beautifully well. And 3-0 sweeping at the time top of the league Espanol. Their only enemy, I feel, today, Jam, is complacency. They cannot let Vertex have a sniff of thinking, hey, there's blood in the water here. Maybe we can upset the apple cart ourselves.
And are you expecting a little bit more of a physical play? Yesterday, we saw a lot of that from all of the teams. Triple Trouble were basically removing the Get Squad from the field. And it was Team Vertex themselves who were trying to remove Weedham Girls goalies from the net by trying to get something in there. Eventually, they did not win. But do you think they're going to continue something like that in this series as well?
I mean, if it's proof deficient, why wouldn't you? It's like, you don't fix something that works. It's been working for them. They've been doing well. They have no reason not to. The bigger question for this is exactly the same question as we had for the previous series, which is this is actually Vertex's final match in the series, right? While Servet still has a match to go. Vertex are like having their final best of 5 here, and it's the exact same as Servet. They're gonna try to go out with a bang. We know they can do it because their offense can be very, very scary, but we know also that BDS is extremely good at putting you under pressure, and that might get the better of them. But that's always the same question. We've seen time and time how many plays BDS have and how many plays can BDS make efficient. Vertex now, they have nothing to lose. Can they just weather the storm? And they must feel inspired after watching Servet. They must be like, you know what, guys? They've almost done it. Now it's our turn.
And it almost felt like the Servets partly were playing so great based on their inspiration, based on that just wings that they've suddenly acquired by starting to notch those wins. Team Vertex might do the same right now, though. Fans of Team BDS are winning the team vote, 71% in favor of BDS, 29, now 28 in favor of Team Vertex. So German fans, we need you in the chat, !Ver, if you want to support your Team Vertex side, or if you are cheering on for Team BDS, of course, !BDS. Show them your support. Just wave whatever spams and copy pastas you have in the chat, as folks have already been doing throughout that time. Thank you very much for that. Well, this is an interesting matchup. Just seeing how the seasons went for both of these teams. Team Vertex, they will definitely try again. I don't see them disbanding. I feel like despite dropping so low in the standings and eventually being relegated, I feel like they have a solid core with which they continue on progressing, and I will expect them to be in the first rounds of the play-ins next season. For the side of Team BDS, has the time come for them to finally challenge for RLCS? Has Monkey Moon has been sitting here for too long? Will they be the ones who will promote in the end? It almost feels like, but what are your opinions?
Listen, BDS is looking incredible. I think that Monkey Moon, we've seen him rise up from the bubble scene now. He's always been known as a striker. He's always been known as a creative outlet. Of course, one of the top PlayStation players in the world when it comes to Rocket League as well. I've always liked ClayX as the anchor. I've always been a big fan of Mark by 8. I'm glad he's found a team which he's really starting to push on with here. Listen, automatic promotion, remember, is in their grasp. It would be such a shame to see it slip through their fingers. I've got this one 3-1 in favor of Team BDS.
Yeah, that's a fair. I think that's a fair statement there. It's like we know that BDS the one, and I think right now it's more like Vertex, if anything, is getting much more fans, because right now it must be like all of the Solari fans being like, you know what, I'm Team Vertex right now. Please win, please give us a chance at getting that one, because what happened now is Espanyol just secured that position in top 3, and should BDS win this one, they have a completely secure one also in that top 3. If they lose, Solari is gonna be here, gunning for them, and I'm pretty sure the guys are like all there trying to like cheer for Vertex. So maybe Vertex will just feel galvanized by all this extra support, like, you know what, let's pull the upset. But at the end of the day, BDS has looked really hard to beat, except that first week. Watching them week after week, it felt like this team deserved to just get that promotion to RLCS, right?
Team BDS will try to continue their march forward, trying to consolidate that first spot. Team Vertex, bolstered by all the support from all the other teams trying to cheer on for them, is going to be their opponent. Our league, Damascus, the players are ready, the fans are ready. Let's take it away.
So Vertex, it's one of those situations where last season they were terrible, good, and they ended up in the middling pack of the relegation zone. And this season they've been a lot more consistent, but they've ended up in the same place. I kind of agree and disagree with Jam in certain respects. I think they do have a decent foundation here for a team going forward, maybe looking at play-ins next season, but their criminal error match after match after match is resorting to long shots at net. Their conversion rate in high pressure situations has been abysmal, Damascus, and that's not necessarily reflected by any stat that you can look up individually. As I say, Dumain, joint 4th in overall assists in the league. He's doing his part. He's making a lot of saves as well, working great as an anchor player, but it's more a team mentality and I guess tendency to fall back and conserve what you have, park the bus, as you will, which has really hindered their progress throughout this season.
Yeah, definitely has been the one. And we're talking about demos. Look at this. There already a double demo there happening at the beginning of this game. Dumain now trying to deliver yet another assist. Not happening. Bikoka, completely waiting there. What is happening? There's a waiting. Something happened.
It looks like we've got a ping problem with one of the players. I am just going to point out, by the way, Dumain in the Sentio, which I don't think I've ever seen at top 2 tier Rocket League. So you talk about no pressure.
Has Flakes played that?
Has Flakes played the Sentio?
Because if anything, the only person I would think about for like for some
Flakes.
cards would be Flakes, because Flakes just picks random select every week and has fun. So I don't know if Dumain is creating the stats or if Flakes is gonna be like, nah, been there, done that, man. I don't know.
Okay, so it looks like we're going to just quickly redo the server. So a little mulligan on that one. We're going to quickly make the room so that we have top pings for everyone. In the meantime, we can talk about that lack of pressure, I guess. We saw in full effect with Servette how I think unshackling is a really good way of putting it. Like you've got nothing to lose, and so you feel a little bit more emboldened to go for some of those plays. And ultimately, a crazy card choice. I mean, I don't think the Sentio is a super crazy card. It's not like the Roadhog XL or the Proteus or something like that. It's got that plank hitbox, which
is that Hencho Dominus hitbox anyway?
I think it's
I'm not entirely sure.
It's either Plank or Dominus. Either way, it's a hitbox which a lot of people use in the top level of RLCS anyway. In terms, I mean, look at Cooks here, for example, often using the Batmobile. Dominus has been used by many a player in the past as well, both at Rival Series and RLCS level. But I don't know. Like, is a card change of that sort more of a statement, or I don't know whether it's his personal favorite card. Who knows? We've seen the Scarab used as well sometimes, and that has the potential to throw things up. Interesting choice, I think, either way. Vertex, good to see they're at least coming out to have some fun. I just hope that they don't throw necessarily. I think that's always the thing that we're scared of as casters when these crazy card choices come out.
Yeah, and you know what? It's Jordi on the chat saying that Cooksir played the Sentio before, and I think he's right, because yes, when Cooksir was experimenting to try to get out of the Batmobile, Sentio was definitely one of the cards.
Sentio, yes,
definitely.
Right.
So it's not a first. Thank you, Jordi on the chat. Thank you, chat, for giving us, the completely unknown, like deep statistics that no one had. Shout out to you. You're a true Rocket League fan. as we wait for, of course, the server to be ready. It's gonna be once again BDS against Vertex. We've said it. Vertex is their final match on the rival series. They're gonna have to, have their fun, and of course, they're still the play-ins for next season. It's still a team who's been there, who's been through these play-ins. They can definitely do it again, but it looks like we are back on this server. The players are currently testing it, making sure the ping is perfect, of course, as there is a lot on the line, especially for BDS rather than Vertex. Let's see if Vertex can put the pressure. Do you reckon we'll get another game 5 here, Lick?
Based on BDS's form, no. The only... Look, I said Espanyol were going to go 3-0 sweep, but again, their form is involving a recent win. The last time BDS lost, and we were chatting about this earlier, the last time they lost was the first day of the season against We Dem Girls. That was 14th of February. That was over a month ago when you're just considering rival series. And so they've got that winning mentality embedded now. I noticed apparently Jacob used to Sentio as well. So clearly the Sentio a bit more of a niche choice than I was imagining. Still waiting for that first Komodo choice though. I mean, come on, it's the new car. Get it out for a little bit. Anyway, I think we are just about ready to move on in to our first game. I still don't think it's going to go to game 5 personally. I think we've got to take BDS's form into account as much as we didn't take into account Espanyol's. They are on a winning streak, a long winning streak in the rival series. And although I still think that Vertex are going to take a game 5 is unlikely. Okay, Mulligan, redo. Let's get things going. Team Vertex in the orange, Team BDS in the blue, getting started off here on DFH Stadium. And already we're starting to see some decent plays from BDS, looking to close in on the Vertex half. Although a great win in the midfield from Kokar there. Dumaine was looking to follow up, but Mark Bayet's going to take control, flick it on over, maybe on target. Was on target, required Dumaine saving that one. And Dumaine over to the wall now, straight to ClayX. It's actually going to be Nagflo picking it up. Takes it away from ClayX, although Monkey Moon now, the last person Vertex wants to give it to is him, forcing another save out of Dumaine. Pinch towards net. Monkey Moon taking out Dumaine, but Kokar's on hand to put this one away.
Yeah, definitely a good one from Kokar. Just set it in a position where there might be some pressure, but ClayX was so ready for this one. Can I go back to Nagflo using the wall, trying to get through Mark, but Mark immediately gets the challenge. Can Monkey Moon get it? No, Dumaine, the perfect challenge there. Kokar trying to get that one. Could not get it on time. It's not on target. Back into Dumaine's side. Kokar will stay behind a bit, waiting for Dumaine to try and deliver yet another pass. He's so good at this. The double commit on the blue side, but no danger after that one. Is back into Mark to get the pass. No boost for him. ClayX is trying to use the wall. We're trying to challenge on this orange side so far. It's been quite level. Not a big reaction happening so far, but Mark trying to at least make it happen. Game 1 between BDS and Vertex. Nagflo using that one. Can Dumaine give the perfect redirect? They tried, but Nagflo was a bit too forward to get the perfect shot. This was the original old Dignitas World Champion play, and they're trying to implement it. That was almost perfect. Can they do it one in this series? They're showing that they got the good plays on deck.
It's so ironic as well, because Nagflo is usually the first one back on defense when the going gets tough, so a shame to see him a little too far forward. That would have been quite a spectacular way to open up the scoring in game number 1. 3 minutes left, and Nagflo straight to Dumaine. It's a 1v1 situation, but Mark Bayet was back in time, and ClayX throws it off to the side. Doesn't get a second touch, and that allows Nagflo to come in. ClayX, so taking out Kokar and ensuring that that offense is one-man light, back to square one. Up goes Mark Bayet. Looking for the corner. Doesn't get a second touch, and Kokar hands it straight off to Monkey Moon, and Nagflo, top beans, makes the save. ClayX with a drop down. Kokar with another save. Dangerous situation there for Team Vertex. They just about get away with it.
Yeah, they stay safe at the end. We're halfway through the game right now. Still no goal, still a very disputed game. But KX with the challenge can get it over Kokar. He cannot. It's going to be back into Mark's hand, and a perfect pass for Monkey Moon trying to play the 1-2. And Dumaine is there to challenge that one. That was an amazing attempt of play there by BDS, but it's not happening yet. Dumaine was behind, trying to pop it over Mark. Not happening. And that's going to be a challenge from Monkey Moon. Narrowly whiffs that one and leaves it to Nagflo's hands. Kokar just whiffs, leaves it to Dumaine. Back for Mark to put some pressure. No more boosts available for Coca, so has to put the pass and just go back, trying to get as much as he can for the save. But no, that was not the best shot by ClayX. He almost had the open net there, but could not capitalize on this amazing opportunity there. Still 0-0. ClayX with the perfect shot, the double commit as well, but no, still not in. BDS is just putting more and more pressure the more we go through this game. Will they be the first to score a goal, or can Vertex start pulling the upset? Nagflow using the backboard, trying to double touch, not happening yet, but that game is much more disputed than game 1 of the previous series, is it?
Absolutely. Mark by 8. Oh, Mark by 8 indeed. He picks it up in his own half. He gets it over 1. He dribbles it past 2. And he absolutely humiliates the third to allow an open goal for Monkey Moon to score. That is 1-0 BDS. And that is a very well worked goal, completely made by Mark by 8. Individual brilliance finding the breakthrough. 60 seconds to hold on. Now Damascus.
It's always the same question now. Do you park the bus? Do you keep on the offense? It looks like they don't care. They're keeping on the offense, and Domain gets a perfect opportunity to even this one up. 1-1. That was a back-to-back goal. They did not want to stay behind the scoreboard. That was a huge critical whiff by ClayX there. Domain capitalized on that one, and that's going to be even for the last minutes.
The Sentio choice is vindicated. The clown hat, the titanium white zombies. They all culminate. They don't really culminate. They all culminate in that first goal for Vertex, and this tie game within 10 seconds of BDS going ahead. They are not going to be happy with that lackadaisical defense, and ClayX immediately forcing Domain into another save. Going into this B stream, Damascus, he was in the top 5 for saves per game. Again, understandable given how much Vertex has been on defense this season, as Nagflow acrobatically gets up to make another one. 5 saves already for Domain in game number 1. There's still 20 seconds left, potential overtime. Monkey Moon taking out Domain, and as soon as you remove that wonderful defensive presence, again, the goal is a gaping. Mark by 8 with the goal himself. 2-1, and it is looking sour for Vertex.
Coca, who got the classic, he was trying to go up the wall and he ended up going up the post and ended up just completely in the net, trying to get back to a good position, but could not get it on time. Such an unfortunate goal to take. It was a bit of an unlucky moment, but BDS is going to capitalize on that. A bit over 10 seconds remaining there as Nagflow is going to try to get some challenge. Coca is trying to at least bring it back by himself, get it over Monkey Moon, but Mark's going to be there. 3 seconds remaining. It's all going to be about keeping the ball up right now. Send it to Nagflow. Monkey Moon trying to smash it, and that's going to be smashed into the ground as Team BDS gets the first game of this series.
What I like from BDS in particular is that they very much respected Vertex. They, apart from that one defensive mishap which saw Vertex take a goal for themselves through Domain, they didn't necessarily look like overcommitting at all. They were actually quite conservative, considering that this team, up until 5 minutes ago, was top of the league. They've actually done a really good job there in subverting expectations. Their offense was still clicking massively. I mean, look at that, 12 shots on target in comparison to Vertex's 3. They controlled the game very well, Damascus, and actually I think that 2-1 scoreline is flattering Vertex just a little bit because, again, they needed a slice of luck to allow Domain that shot on goal. Across the board, 9 saves. BDS didn't make a single one.
Yeah, Vertex had to just like put a brick wall of a defense behind, and that was done by Domain, showing that he can just keep the team safe when he can. But you know what, Erlich? We are now moving into Vertex territory, as the game 2 is usually their sandbox. That's where they have fun. Can they keep the statistic of winning most of the game 2s they have, or will BDS go for 2-0?
I was going to say, wipe this one off. If this is a Vertex win, confirmed. We don't need to see this game. I don't know why. I don't know why we're playing it even. That said, if BDS do win in game number 2, I mean, that's breaking a hoodoo, and I think that could be pretty crucial in helping them achieve their promotion aspirations. A reminder, folks, if you're just joining us or if you're not too knowledgeable on the championship connotations, if BDS win this in a 3-1 or 3-0 scoreline, overall in terms of the series, of course, then Solari are out of the automatic promotion picture. It is just between BDS and Espanyol. All BDS have to do is win their remaining 2 series, being this one and versus We Dem Girls. And they are... Was it We Dem Girls? I might have gotten that slightly wrong. Their final series is up against Triple Trouble. My apology. If they are to win those 2 series, they are automatic promotion winners, regardless of what happens. And ClayX looking to break that game to Hoodoo of facing Team Vertex. Less than a minute in, and already we are 1-0 up.
Yeah, that's a very strong start. Stronger start by BDS. They're getting that first game, trying to be in control as soon as they can, as they know the storm, the Vertex storm, is going to happen soon, as game 2 is where they usually try to put the pressure on and to just set the pace for the series. Coca just sending it in front, but a good one by Mark, sending it back to Coca. So, as I mean, Nagflo with a shot that is a bit above of the target. Unfortunate for him, Mark with a perfect clear there, sending it all the way to the other corner, and Dumain not with the best of clears there, but still Nagflo was in there to get this. Can Monkey Moon get it on time? Yes, he has enough boost to get this one. He'll be able to just touch it, go in front. Yes, it's working. Coca with yet another challenge. They have to give some space to Mark right now, and Nagflo has to weather the storm. He does. FlayX once again with a challenge. A bit more pressure happening on Vertex's side, but BDS is weathering the storm perfectly, and they're getting their own opportunities right now. But a perfect defense, no double commit happening yet. Dumain looking for the pass. Dumain trying to get the top beans, but it's not happening. Another pass. What the goal! Oh, Vertex, man, what a play it was. Nagflo evens it up. What a play. They completely put the defense on the back foot there.
And I tell you what, Damascus, I was taking a little look at the boost totals in terms of BDS. They've been expending a lot of boost this game just in order to try and close down Vertex. And ultimately, it was that lack of boost which really contributed. They didn't know whether to go for boost pads or whether they should be back in net, and ultimately a wonderful worked situation there from Dumain where he basically forced the defender to say, listen, we're either going to stay in net and get demoed, or you've got to jump and not get demoed. And that is what opened the waters there for Nagflo to put that one home. Tie game, ClayX denied by Nagflo, Monkey Moon denied by Dumain. Tie game as we approach half-time, and BDS sure do have a series on their hands. Vertex look well up for this, as Dumain is now closed down by ClayX. It goes over to the far wall, marked by 8. Isn't going to be closed down by Nagflo, though. Dumain comes in clutch once again at the goal mouth. Here comes Monkey Moon, looking to get it underneath Nagflo. Going to read him like a book, but marked by 8 goes up high. Dumain, again, reads him like the book. Defense working, defense clicking, defense looking solid. And Kokar taking out ClayX means that there's no real offensive drive or not for here for BDS. Monkey Moon does cut it out of the midfield, but again, lack of boost. Gotta go back, and Kokar makes another easy save, followed up maybe by Nagflo. Yeah, he just about gets his car in front.
Yeah, it's been a pretty pressure moment for now for BDS, but a good demo there. So no pressure on Dumain, perfectly able to do this pass on Nagflo, the great shot, but Monkey Moon was in there, double commit there. So that's going to be a ball for the orange side. Once again, Monkey Moon getting challenged. Can Mark get it on time? Double commit once again. Coca trying to at least get a pass going, but no, that was almost a perfect assist for Monkey Moon, but thankfully Nagflo was on defense on time. Back to the orange side we are. BDS will try to get that second goal, but defense is still holding up back for Mark. Not much boost to play with right now, just trying to pop it up as high as he can, and he did, but Nagflo was in there to just get it. A demo for Mark on Coca, trying to get a little bit less defenders. We've seen that demo strategy has been working a lot for BDS, and of course they will apply it again, but so far Vertex is still staying solid. A bit over a minute remaining. One goal for game 2. Can Vertex keep the tradition alive?
I'll tell you what, it's like the toilet roll situation currently in terms of supermarkets. BDS are looking for these boost pads, and they're all out. There's nothing there. They're really struggling to find any 100 boost pads, as Nagflo, again, lying in wait in defense. He's more than comfortable as ClayX, Mark by it closes him down. Now here comes Kokar. Not going to bang this one actually up front. He's going to get the dunk first on one, and Dumain trying to get the dunk on the second. You can see there, once again, taking the 100 boost pads from the blue side, and that was a dangerous position for BDS, marked by 8. Left watching as the ball loitered on the goal line, and finally, BDS, well, they tried to break out again, but Nagflo's 50-50s have been on point today. Kokar towards the net. puts it back for Dumain, who's going to try and find Nagflo. Does find Nagflo, shoots wide. 10 seconds left now. I have a feeling we might be going for overtime. And that's Dumain. Oh, it was just a little too shy a shot. And in comes Nagflo again. We are going to OT.
Overtime it is for game 2. There's so much pressure on both sides. It looks like there's gonna be Vertex putting some more pressure, but Mark just getting a bit faster than his opponent there. But Koka getting that clear back into the blue side. That overtime is gonna be extremely important. Vertex, you do not want to let BDS with 2 games ahead of you right now. Koka gonna get that clear, at least not the biggest of clears with soft, but still at least puts the ball out of danger right now. Gonna be ClayX trying to get us one more pass. Domain with a perfect jump there to just get it above. And Koka trying to pass it once again. Mark was so ready for this one. Gets the second touch, no boost, but he's going to be able to at least get a pass. Get it to Domain. Domain could not get the save on this one. And the shot from Monkey Moon not happening yet. Once again, Nagflo still keeping it tight. Vertex has been very, very convincing on the defensive side today, as it looks like BDS has been just plowing through the defense, but the defense is always solid right now. It's looking really hard to score a goal on Vertex, but can Vertex score the goal on that blue side there? 1 minute of overtime. Koka with a pass and no one to get this one. ClayX sends it back to Nagflo.
Better to be safe than sorry. Koka is, oh my goodness, looking for himself, and Mark Bay with a big save. Here comes Koka now. The shot into the middle, but it's not met by Dumain, and now Nagflo starting to form a bit of a crunch situation here. Our Vertex finally the breakout from ClayX, and oh my word, cool as you like, Koka just lofts it past one, lofts it past the second, and Mark by 8 picking up 100 boost, but at what cost? A good block there from his teammate on the backboard. It goes all the way downfield. He gets the touch. Nagflo, it's left to Koka. However, ClayX now looking to do something on his own. Nagflo again, another 50-50 win in the midfield. Monkey Moon forced up to make the save here, and here comes Nagflo again. Midfield maestro off the backboard, double commit from Monkey Moon and Mark by 8. Dumain now with a lot of boost once again. Good challenge. Here comes Nagflo. Oh, he missed his jump. That's a real shame. And Monkey Moon and Mark by 8 help this one back downfield. 2 minutes come and go in overtime, and it is anybody's game.
It is anybody's game, and Nagflo trying to pass it to Domain, but that was a perfect save by Monkey Moon there. ClayX with a whiff, but that puts a good situation there, but Koka was still ready for this one. Domain lets the ball going through, not jumping yet, leaves it to Nagflo, trying to go put some pressure. ClayX not in a good position to get this one, just leaves it to his teammates. Much boost for him, has to leave it to Monkey Moon. Monkey Moon with a good pass for Mark. Mark hitting it once. Can he touch it again? No, it's gonna be Nagflo. Lots of pressure being put on the orange side there, but still, once again, Vertex just stays calm. It looks like you cannot put them into panic mode right now. While on the other side, we've seen BDS going for a couple of double commits there. Yet another back to safety by Monkey Moon, sending it away. Koka, once again a pass. Not much is happening on this blue side at the moment, as they still remain safe. Domain is trying to go once again for a very, very long backboard clear, but it's not happening. A double commit offensively, but Domain almost got this one. That was so close of a very, very surprise attack on something that was kind of a mistake, but they could have made the best of it. Not a score, not a goal yet, sorry. Before Koka into Mark by 8, this overtime pressure is building up as time is still just ticking. The clock is ticking, and these guys are not willing to concede any goal. When will it end? Will it be ClayX? No, 2 for 1, and they get this one. They are still alive. Vertex is looking ridiculous on the defensive side.
They've both had their backs turned, and they still managed to make the save. 3.5 minutes gone of overtime, and Koka with another touch off the corner. Mark by 8 looking for bumps in net, but Dumain away. Monkey Moon, that is a critical pickup there of the 100 boost in the midfield. Yeah, he's almost expended all of it, though. He's in fact used all of it just to get back into position now to defend this. Mark by 8. He's got literally Vertex bees swarming, ready to pick up possession. Out to ClayX. ClayX! A banger off the top of the defender means that just over 4 minutes have elapsed, and the hoodoo has been broken. Vertex are beaten in game 2.
What a power shot by ClayX there. He was so ready. He saw that ball. He saw the net. Like, this, man, this is a goal. ClayX saves the team, saves the day, and that's going to be the second game for Team BDS. 2-0 for this on this series. And the question remains now, are we going to have a sweep or is Vertex gonna be able to score? Because we've seen Vertex so good on the defensive side, but we haven't seen them putting enough pressure on the offensive side. It looks like they spent so long just trying to weather the storm that is BDS offense that it's looking so hard for them to just get some very, very critical offensive moments. They keep just clearing the ball and sending it back to BDS. The pressure that BDS constantly applies on them is really working. Now we're gonna move to game 3, which could potentially be Vertex's very last game in this season of the rival series. Can they make it to another game, or will BDS complete the sweep? Game 3 is ready. Let's go.
It goes back to the point I was making at the top of the series, Damascus. It's a stat that you can't really see in anything except the gameplay itself. Vertex cannot convert in high pressure situations. Kokar is going to be kicking himself. He had a chance for the team to go 2-1 up just on the stroke of 0 seconds, and the shot was too weak. Had that shot been any more powerful, we would have been talking about Vertex winning in game number 2 again. As it stands, like you say, looking for the sweep now, our team BDS. Administration game, or are we going to get something of the spectacular like we saw with Servette versus Espanyol? Over 4 minutes left of this game to play, and so far it has been all BDS. Monkey Moon goes up high, gets the block on the clearance from Dumaine, and down comes ClayX. In comes Monkey Moon, but Kokar was there. Clutch save. Not a great clearance, though. Misses it completely. Double touch, and Monkey Moon scores. 1-0, advantage BDS.
Monkey Moon is showing why he's the man in this team. Monkey Moon currently has 15 MVP awards in the season, which means he's tying the previous record holder, who was himself. This guy is always there to be the offensive guy, to get the point, to make the team work, and right now he's the one getting that first goal. Nagflow with a challenge there, but that's gonna be for ClayX. Coca, not the best of challenges. ClayX trying to get the pass, but Nagflow was there, able to get once again a clear good position for Mark to get a shot, and Coca could not get it back. And this is exactly what BDS has been aiming for all the previous 2 games. They put pressure, and all of the clears, they end up onto BDS's hands, and every once in a while a bad clear happens and BDS just capitalized on it. That is 2-0 already, and it's looking very, very convincing from the blue side.
You got to feel for Kokar. That miss seems to have really affected him. Of course, he didn't score at all yesterday against We Dem Girls. And that is now a high-profile mistake to not close out the game for Vertex in game number 2, and 2 high-profile mistakes in defense to see BDS 2-0 up in game number 2. They're just floundering around like fish in a fish tank. They don't know where they're going. All they know is that they're just going in circles with no particular direction. ClayX makes the save off Kokar, who does at least get a shot on target this time, and Kokar looking to create more havoc in the midfield. They're just trying to disrupt the BDS rotation, but BDS are having absolutely none of it. Nagflow goes towards the backboard. ClayX gets there first. 3 minutes for Vertex to try and play spoiler here as Dumaine finds Kokar on the far side. Dumaine is going to look for someone in net. Kokar's going to shoot wide, and there's no third man in to follow up like we saw from Zamway earlier with Espanyol.
Yeah, that's been the pressure building and building again, but still cannot manage to get the goal. Marked by 8, getting the challenge on this one. Monkey Moon tried an amazing touch there, but a bit too ambitious. ClayX with the angle, trying to find it. Mark, but what a save. That was still almost a triple commit, and Monkey Moon was right there once again to get the goal. He wants this MVP award once again. Look at this. What did happen? Was that the solo standard special, the triple commit on defense? The pressure is way too high on the orange side, and BDS gets the 3rd game a little bit before half of the game.
Damascus are going to steal that one and use it later.
This has been, anyone can claim it. All of you know, all of you trying to solo queue online have been living that nightmare, and it happens even at the highest level.
Oh, it's like Nam flashbacks, isn't it? It's 3-0 BDS. And goodness me, are they looking strong. We've got to give credit to Mark by 8, by the way. Yes, it was triple commit on the side of Vertex, but he had enough sense about him to see, hey, you know, Monkey Moon's coming in on the rotation now. Let's just throw a pass back. It should be an open net. And that's a nice infield pass from Dumaine, actually. And I don't know whether Nagflow was trying to find Dumaine again, or whether he was going to try and go for the shot himself. If it was a shot himself, it was a poor shot. If he was trying to find Dumaine, then that's on Dumaine. Either way, speaks of lack of
What a
communication.
double tap by Domain! He was... My god, the pace he put on that. Look at that. Coming at full speed. Getting the absolute double
angle?
into the angle. This is highlight real moment. Domain is not letting this series go. Man, what a goal.
Regardless of communication, who needs communication when you've got individual prowess like that? I think out of this entire Vertex team, Domain can hold his head high. He has saved this team on more than one occasion. He's kept them in it on more than one occasion. But Monkey Moon is almost going to provide a spectacular, sensational, sumptuous goal of his own. In the end, it just ends up being quite a nice assist for Mark by 8. But that's 4-1 for Team BDS.
The more we go, the more this match is looking like a Jazer video. So many highlight moments, right? Try to just fire back, but immediately gets the goal anyway. Still a 3 goals lead, still looking really hard. You need 1 goal every 30 seconds right now for them, but that's looking really, really hard. Marked by 8, gonna get yet another pass. Nagflow gets the clear back into Domain's hand. Can he make magic happen again? No, that's still gonna be back into Monkey Moon's hand. And at this point, the more we go, the more unlikely it looks like. And once again, my god, everything lines up against them. The triple commits, the bounces. It looks like today is not Vertex's day, as that ball, just cannonball, goes straight to his own net. 5-1 for BDS.
Monkey Moon should probably rename himself to Merlin Moon. Pure wizardry there to get his hat trick, and that is 5-1 now to BDS. They smell promotion. They can taste it. And they're not going to let BDS ruin the party. Espanyol did what they could to keep things even, to peg one back on BDS. But ultimately, as we said many times in that last series, Damascus, fate is out of their hands.
Oh,
and goodness me, when fate is on your side, it is going to give it to you in spades. What a save, what a recovery. BDS, if that doesn't get them into RLCS, I don't know what is.
I cannot believe what just happened. The man the arm out, just catches the ball just any way he can, and he got that save. 5-1, and he's still playing like it's 1-1. BDS cannot be stopped, and Monkey Moon looking for yet another highlight. Will try to bump Domain in the air, but could not get it properly back into Nagflow's hand. 10 seconds remaining, and looking to at least go out to the bank, get a nice goal before leaving, but no, it's gonna be the pressure. ClayX is whiffing, Monkey Moon is there. All 3 of them are in front, trying to get the final goal for this series right now. Rule number 1 is in full action as we try to keep the ball up as much as we can. ClayX with a pass into Monkey Moon, dropping it to his boy, but it was a good save. Coca trying to get it to Domain. Domain using the ball. Can he get it on top? Not enough boost for him, and the save by Mark that is gonna be on the floor, and BDS gets the clean sweep. 3-0 over Vertex. What a final game, full of highlight reels it's been, but BDS is a bit too strong today.
And so the film goes monotone as Vertex exits stage left, and Team BDS now find themselves 1 series win away from the Rocket League Championship Series. All they've got to do is beat Triple Trouble or hope that Baguette Squad can pull out the most unlikely of wins against Espanyol, and they are at the top tier of Rocket League Esports. Solari are out of automatic promotion contention. They've now just got to focus on finishing top 3. But BDS, they came here to do the job, and did it indeed they did. That is a 3-0 sweep on Team Vertex, Damascus. And we're going to bring Jam back in on this discussion as we close out affairs on at least our side of things before we head into the second part of the broadcast. Monkey Moon turning up. That is his 5th hat trick of the season. The star of the show, undoubtedly.
Really, Monkey Moon has never stopped appearing during this season. He has been the standout player for Team BDS, and he continues to be that star player. I'm really worried for Team BDS. If perhaps he will just not be at their team anymore. Somebody's just gonna pouch him, just like we've already seen a couple of the players in the league. We talk about Cash potentially being one of the players that might get a move on after the season, because Cash has been absolutely spectacular for Notorious Legion. And here, Team BDS just doing Team BDS things. Although you wouldn't expect perhaps it to go that way. 2 of the first games, 2-1, 2-1. Team Vertex still putting quite a roadblock in the way of Team BDS. But it seemed like in the very end, the thing that has been really bringing Team Vertex down during this whole season, the fact that they can get in position to create a pass, but there was always not a player who can finish that pass, has once again betrayed them, and 3-0 was the eventual result. Do you agree with that, or did you see something else from Team Vertex that really was their downfall in the series?
I mean, it's honestly, it's hard to like point something for Team Vertex or their downfall, because it just looked like BDS was just better. I mean, all of the 3 games, even that second game that was much more disputed, they all look the same, as in it was BDS just putting pressure, forcing Vertex into having these terrible like saves because they were under too much pressure and they could not get a clear, and then BDS just using that against them, capitalizing on it. It's been pretty much all of it. I guess knowing this kind of situation, the only thing you miss to try and win is probably a bit of magic. I mean, Domain tried to bring the magic at the end, got his one like amazing goal, but it looks like you just like down to someone making something crazy happen to win, because BDS was looking way too solid, and I don't feel like they've been really worried anytime during the series. So it's definitely a team looking very strong right now. 1 win away, as you said, from the auto promotion. That definitely would be a deserved auto promotion after like the amount of skill that they've showcased throughout the season. Vertex, though, is definitely a team I want to see more, because they've been so convincing on the offense throughout the whole season. It's just unfortunate to see. I mean, today, for example, they just crumbled a bit on defense. That's probably the side to fix on them side, to just be able to get back on track for the rival series and hopefully get a better season through play-ins next season.
All is in their hands. Team Vertex, well, one last hurrah unfortunately didn't happen. This is the last we're going to see them on the rival series streams. This has been their last game of the season. Well, this hasn't been a win. I think they can look back at the games that they've played, the couple of very weird results, some game 5s against top teams in the league, and say, yeah, this was pretty good. We're going to come next season and show what's what. They have still room to grow. They've lost their top player Rizix to RGM, and this time they will be able to perhaps take the mid-season, adjust, and take something into the next season. But Damascus, our league, thanks very much. This has been absolutely fantastic listening to you in those 2 series. The games that we have expected to be perhaps sweeps, well, we had a couple of surprises, almost a big upset with a reverse sweep with RCD Espanyol versus Servette Geneva Esports. And I hope you have enjoyed these games just as much as the chat has enjoyed them, as much as it has enjoyed your cast. Folks, go ahead, follow them on these @Twitters, and just spread some love around. We're going to be back with the 2 remaining games of today. It's going to be Widom Girls versus Solari and Triple Trouble versus Notorious Legion Esports in about 10 minutes or so. We'll be right back.